Today, I want us to talk about who we are as individuals, human beings. We have to be perceived in a certain way, and we also have to perceive ourselves and others in a certain way, maybe in that same way. Sometimes should is not would. The things that we should do, we would not do those things. So, today, in looking at who we are, I want us to begin from an angle that is very specific and auspicious also, that will help us to comprehend exactly who we are and who we are supposed to be. And I will draw your attention to information that is in the public domain. I mean, information that you can see very readily. That information is from the United States Declaration of Independence. And even the mere use of that expression tells you that it is something that you can get hold of on the fly. Just look it up, you will find it. So it is called the United States Declaration of Independence. That's what it is. Now, that Declaration of Independence contains very, very important words that can help us understand who we are. So, how do you perceive yourself? And how do I perceive myself? How do I perceive you? And how do you perceive me? How do we perceive others? I mean, this is something that is pervasive and it applies to everyone, everywhere, who can even do a little thinking. Now, the second paragraph of the United States Declaration of Independence starts with the following words, and I'll quote: "We hold these truths to be evident, self evident." Something can be evident and something can be more evident than others. This one is self evident. So let me go back because I interrupted the quote. Let me go back and just give it to you the way it was given to us. We hold these truths to be self evident, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are inalienable rights that we all were created and given by our Creator. So now think about it. These words are contained in the United States Declaration of Independence. And when you hear the word independence, what do you really think? Is independence just about a country that exercises self rule? Not just that. If a country is independent, it means that the individuals in that country, the individuals of that country, are also supposedly independent. So if a country is independent, did I say dependent? If a country is independent, then the people of that country And the people in that country are supposedly independent also. In an independent country, people are able to pursue life. And whatsoever they define life to be, that's what life will be to them. They are expected to pursue liberty. Liberty. I mean, these are words that you can find in your dictionary. You don't even need an encyclopedia for that. Liberty, being able to just sleep when you want, wake up when you want, run and jog when you want, shout and whisper when you want, love and hate when you want. I don't like the one hate because that's a vice. But I just want to bring out these, words and like synonyms and antonyms and all that, just to buttress the point that when you pursue liberty, you are pursuing the practice of doing what you want to do. And you have the right to pursue happiness. And of course, we know that one man's meat could be another man's poison. So, if what makes me happy makes you sad, just allow me to make myself happy. Then that thing that makes you happy, go do it. If what makes you happy makes me sad, I should just mind my business and let you do what makes you happy. We know that some people have been killed jogging. So, is it possible that the person who was jogging was enjoying his life, enjoying his liberty, and enjoying his happiness? But a person who finds jogging irritating and jogging makes that person unhappy, could it be that such a person decided to kill the one who is jogging? So the United States Declaration of Independence gives you the unalienable right. That is a right that you have that cannot be taken away from you. That's what unalienable is. It cannot be alienated from it, and you cannot be alienated from that particular right. That's what makes it unalienable. So that right to life, that right to liberty, and that right to the pursuit of happiness, you have it. I mean, if you didn't even have it before that time, you began to have it from the time the Declaration of Independence came out as an official document. But the question you have to ask yourself is this: do you enjoy those rights? Are those rights unalienable to you or from you? Do you pursue happiness? Like sometimes I wake up in the morning, some neighbors of mine have a storefront where they make themselves happy during weekends. So some weekends I wake up in the morning, let's just say on a Saturday morning, and I'll be hearing music. They are blaring the sound from, I don't know, maybe very big speakers or something like that. I mean, my doors are locked, the windows are, I was just sealed, every place is sealed, but their sound still filters into my house, into my room. So they are pursuing life. That's what life means to them. They are pursuing liberty. They have the ability to play music on the doorsteps of their house, their building, their storefront, and the pavement or whatever. And they have the right to be happy. And one day I came out and looked. I saw that they were all in the front yard dancing, all of them in steps. Everybody would go right, everybody would go left, go front, go back, and they were just doing that kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to describe? So they were pursuing happiness. Now, what they are doing, I would say, is in line with the Declaration of Independence. So now I have explained that. Now let's copy this whole thing and paste on humanity. That's where it begins to be tricky. Because some human beings do not want others to enjoy these unalienable rights. I mean, go all over the world. You will see discrimination. You will see racial tensions. You see tribal sentiments and escalations. You see regional squabbles and crises because someone somewhere wants to deny another person of the inalienable rights. And if they are trying to deny you of your unalienable rights and you keep quiet, they will be happy. They'll keep doing it because there's no resistance. But the moment you say, look, this is my unalienable right, I have the right to pursue my life, whatever my life means to me. I have the right to pursue my liberty, and I have the right to pursue my happiness. And once they come to that realization, they want to activate it, the aggressors, oppressors, and so on will unleash mayhem in some instances. Like I said, copy this content of the US Declaration of Independence and paste on humanity all over the world. You will listen, you will hear about quarrels and fights, rolling out of armor tanks and firing missiles to test, just to show force. And sometimes the military will just march through the city somewhere. It's a show of force. Sometimes the Air Force will fly around and do demonstrations in the skies and just to say, look, we are here. But all those things can be going on, but they should not be used to shortchange humanity. People have the right to live. People have the right. Got to live their lives. Person A should not create a situation that will lead to the death of person B. And in fact, if person B died accidentally in the hands of person A, it will be clear that it was accidental. And some things can be done, and evidence will be provided, and everyone will see that the death occurred accidentally. Then the rules of law will take care of that. But it's a no when person A intentionally creates a situation that will lead to the death of person B. And of course, if something happens in that way and leads to the death of person B, if person B keeps quiet or his relatives, his friends, and loved ones just don't say anything, and then person C will die, person D will die up to person Z, they'll keep dying. Then when they get to Z, if nobody says anything, person A will go back to person B1, B2, Z B1, C1, D1, until they go to Z1. They go to B2, C2. Like, people keep dying because nobody says anything. But the moment you decide that you are going to activate your unalienable rights, then the aggressors will show their fangs, show their claws, show their hatchets and everything in their arsenal, because you want to just follow what is in the second paragraph of the United States Declaration of Independence, which says that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, what is too difficult for person A to understand? You know what that means? It means that person A is naturally vicious, vile. I don't want to rule out those other words. So, person A should think twice and remember that the United States of America has said that all men are created equal, which means really I do not have to be afraid of you. And on the other hand, you do not have to be afraid of me. So I cannot see you along the road and we are coming from opposite directions and we are on the same side of the road on the pedestrian sidewalk. As we are coming, you don't have to cross the road to the other side. Because when you do that, it means that you are trying to avoid coming face to face with me. And only you know what that means. Only you know how that could best be interpreted. Because I will make my own interpretation. I could say that you are afraid of me, or you have a certain impression of me, or in your mind you have profiled me to be XYZ, and because of that, you switch to the other side of the road. But if you know that you have been created equal with me, no matter what I look like, you should just mind your business. Be nice and just be nice. Hello, how are you doing? I'm going to say hello. I'm going to say also hello to you. But when you see vicious people trying to overturn humanity, creating chaos in different places, causing the deaths of millions of people, then it means that they do not believe what the United States has said. And I'm going to say it again. The United States of America says in their Declaration of Independence, find it in the second paragraph, that it is a truth, a simple truth. And America holds holds that truth to be exactly as it has been said. That truth is that you and I are equal. So no difference. You might be 7 foot tall person. I might be a 5 foot tall person. You might be a robust 500-pound person. I may be a tiny 100-pound skeleton. But the thing is, as long as I breathe and you breathe, we are created equal by our Creator because you and I share one thing. We share the Creator. We share that. So that our Creator has created you and I to be equal and endowed us with those rights that I can decide to sleep all day long. You cannot barge into my house and pull me out and say, you got to go out. I can decide not to sleep and get out and just take a walk. If I like, within the limits of reason, I can decide to take a walk at midnight when the atmosphere is serene and when all the dust that we raised during the day settled. Then I can say, okay, now the dust is settled, the whole place is serene, no too many vehicles, the atmosphere is clear. I can listen to the atmosphere. I can hear the sounds of silence. Then let me go take a walk so that the unadulterated breeze will blow on me. This is just one of my rights. And now, if I walk at night, of course, I mean, so many things can happen. But if we all believe that we are created equal and endowed by our Creator with all these unalienable rights, then when I take that walk at midnight, there is a chance that I will run into a police vehicle. And depending on the hunch the police officer has, he can stop and ask me, where are you going? And I'll just say, I am taking a walk. I mean, he can say, okay, why do you choose to take a walk at this time? When that conversation starts, you should see it as a simple, friendly chat because truth is always simple. And every truth is always self evident. That's why the US Declaration of Independence says these truths, we hold these truths. And after saying saying those truths, they now said, among these are. So if you look at that statement, you will know that there are other unalienable rights beyond just life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's why they said among these. So now you don't wait for them to go back to the Congress and begin to add those rights here because they will keep writing it and there'll be no paper to write to write all the rights. They will write as your right. I mean, I like that sentence. There will not be enough paper for them to write all the rights that are your right. I'm not even sure I got it exactly where I got it in the first place. So you will go back and rewind and get it. So the point is that you have so many unalienable rights, but the Congress just mentioned three. Life, which is no human being has a right to take your life from you. So the police officer in my hypothesis hold that conversation and gets convinced that I'm taking a walk. And every question he asks me pans out when I give the answer. He asks for my ID. I put my driver's license. I give to him. He looks at it. Okay, everything pans out. He runs my information on me, and I have to be patient because I know that I am taking a walk at midnight. And then that's why I said first, within limits of reason. So he will satisfy himself, and he will live. And he can even give me a piece of advice, a friendly advice. Say, look, you are doing something within your right, but it can be risky by this time. I would suggest you go home, because anything can happen. That is a friendly piece of advice. But when he says that, if I am a vicious person, I'll say, what's your business with that? That's my business. That's not your cup of tea. I can take a walk at night. It's within my right. So why should then I can create altercation. That shows that I am a vicious person. I am not friendly. So if we all keep in mind that we are created equal, and that our creator, our joint creator, has endowed all of us. After creating us equal, he endowed all of us with the unalienable right. That's the right I cannot take away from you, and it's a right you cannot take away from me. That right to your life, you know, that's your right. That right to your liberty and that right to your happiness. Let humanity learn from this paragraph. And all over the world, let us just stop tampering with other people's lives, other people's happiness, other people's liberty. Of course, we know that when people encroach on you and begin to poke and prod and elbow and all that, they're looking for something. Looking for something. We know that. Of course, we live in a world where there is virtue and there is vice. Choose you this day which side you belong. You belong to the side of vice, go ahead. And I'll say, no, don't go there. But I mean, you got the right. It's within your right. Unalienable. Right. So you can say, I want to be in vice. But for me, I chose and still choose today and will continue to choose to be on the side of virtue. If I go contrary to virtue, you should understand that there might have been something I did not know that made me to sleep. And if I know it, I will get back to where I missed it. So I am so satisfied that humanity has a right. Every human being on earth has the right. I mean, the right to live, the right to eat, the right to dance, the right to ride a bicycle, the right to go to the park and walk around and exercise, the right to shout, the right to whisper, the right to do different things. We have the right to live out our lives and achieve our full potential and do the things that nature gave to us, that we brought with us into this world, and execute those things and to the benefit of humanity, so that those who are coming after us will continue from where we stopped. These truths we hold to be self-evident. So we're equal. So don't forget about it. Remember always that we are equal. You cannot expect me to be afraid of you. And of course, I cannot expect you to be afraid of me. If there's anything I have that you need, go ahead and contact me. If I can share it, I'll share with you. If I cannot share with you, I'll tell you why I cannot share. It could be this is the only one I have. You know what? Let's just see how we can find another one. And I'll join in searching. And we will find it. If I find it first, I'll contact you and give it to you. If you find it first, you let me know, oh, I found it. That is how humanity should live, and which will be in line with enjoying our life, our liberty, and our happiness. Let us stop killing people unnecessarily for the heck of it. Let us stop. Um, Let us stop depriving people of their rights, their livelihoods, their domains, their territories, their lands, their resources, their cultures, their traditions. Let's not cause a stir and just change things unnecessarily because we are after some vicious pursuit. Humanity should enjoy life, enjoy liberty, and enjoy happiness. It is unalienable. Please, let's help each other across the universe that people should live and not be made to become victims unnecessarily. Thank you very much.